Put some clothes on, young lady, and act like an adult. You racist!
I've been sexualized.
We understand in this world that the easiest thing for really stupid people like Angel Reese to do is to claim racism.
I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it.
I told myself it's not racist for me to like Caitlin Clark's game and to say so publicly.
Black people are supposed to be better than white people at basketball. That's crap. Angel Reese's team sucks. Angel Reese can't make a basket.
Her fan base has gone, I'm talking about like...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Content of Angel Reese's. Ooh, not even sure she has character.
If you want to be considered the GOAT, you got to have GOAT-like performances. And Caitlin Clark had a GOAT-like performance.
Caitlin Carey Clark. I got to get it right. That's what she is.
In Angel Reese's comments below, oh my God, what are we going to do?
In the world of sports, rivalries are bound to happen. But what happens when one player says one thing in public and does the opposite behind the scenes? Today, we dive deep into the ongoing saga between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
She has taken to two things that, well, most women go to in sports when it's not going their way. Shaking their ass and calling people racist.
On the surface, Reese claims there's no animosity toward Clark, but her actions tell a different story.
I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands on any of that.
And now you want sympathy. Where was sympathy for all of those who you exposed your villainness?
Backed by the controversial remarks of Dakich, we unravel the hidden truth behind the trash talk, the back-and-forth support of hate, and what this really says about Reese's motives. Stay tuned, because this is more than just a game. It's a narrative of hypocrisy and hatred.
White girl is successful. White girl more popular. White girl must be bad. Bad white girl. We see it in politics with bad orange man. And of course her fans are racist. You racist!
Let's start by addressing the core of the issue, Angel Reese's public statements versus her actions. On multiple occasions, Reese has gone on record saying she holds no grudge or hatred toward Caitlin Clark.
When it's behind your name, that's when a lot of people are like, oh, they think, oh, I don't like her because her fans are saying this. No, I don't believe in her heart that she has hatred towards me. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure she believes that I don't have hatred towards her, but I think her fan base has gone, I'm talking about like...
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
She insists that their on-court rivalry is just part of the game and claims there's no personal animosity. However, her support for those who openly bash Clark suggests otherwise. In one instance, a TikTok video emerged, criticizing Clark and accusing her fans of being racially biased. Instead of distancing herself from the inflammatory comments, Reese jumped into the conversation, commenting, "You left no crumbs," implying full agreement with the hateful narrative.
Here's a TikTok in Angel Reese's comments below. Oh my God, what are we going to do?
Let me say it again. You were never a Caitlin fan. You were an Angel Reese hater. You didn't care about Caitlin Clark's skills. You like the fact that she was a white woman performing exceptionally well in a sport dominated by black women. So instead of appreciating Caitlin for being an incredible, talented player, it was all about being anti-Angel Reese. That's not weird to y'all? Y'all think that's weird?
This contradiction between Reese's words and her actions raises an important question. Is she genuinely indifferent toward Clark, or is she fueling a deeper animosity by aligning herself with those who tear Clark down?
You left no crumbs. Okay, that's Angel Reese's response. That means that you're right. I agree. You told the truth.
It seems Reese wants to play both sides. On one hand, portraying herself as mature and above the drama, while on the other hand, amplifying voices that trash talk her so-called rival.
Multiple occasions, people have made AI pictures of me like naked.
Angel Reese took her clothes off for Instagram and posed and all this stuff. What happened? She claimed to be sexualized. What is that? Drama. Total drama. Put some clothes on, young lady, and act like an adult.
This duality becomes especially troubling when someone of her stature uses their platform to embolden those spreading hatred, all while denying any involvement. And this isn't just a one-time event. Reese's pattern of behavior has continued to unfold, with each instance adding more fuel to the fire. If there were truly no bad blood between them, why continue to engage in such negativity?
The more that she says, like, hey, haters, like, it wasn't this, I'm this, it fuels those negative people to continue saying negative things about you.
This brings us to Dakich, a well-known sports commentator who recently shed light on the entire situation.
There isn't one single interesting woman playing in the WNBA, to me, a mid-range jump shooting Asia Wilson, and how great she is. She's not great. She's okay. I mean, she probably could start on a few boys' teams out here in the country, but none here in Indiana City. But Caitlin Clark's interesting.
He exposed how Reese's behavior goes beyond competitive spirit, suggesting it's a strategic play to gain fame by riding the coattails of Clark's success. Dakich didn't hold back when he revealed how deeply embedded this drama has become.
We understand the legendary OG lesbians, the African-American lesbians, the African-American lesbian fans of the WNBA who have not grown the league even a little bit in 27 years are all upset.
According to Dakich, Angel Reese isn't just a competitor. She's someone who's building her profile off the back of Caitlin Clark's accomplishments. He points out how Reese continues to seek the spotlight, using Clark's name and reputation as a springboard for her own fame. This strategy, Dakich argues, isn't uncommon in sports, but it's Reese's inconsistency that makes it particularly troubling.
We understand that the world that we live in can easily be defined by white racist, white bad. You're rooting for a white guy, bad. You're wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Think about that. Make America Great Again. Oh, you don't understand. That has racial connotations. No, it doesn't.
On one hand, Reese claims she's focused on her own game, dismissing any hatred or rivalry with Clark. Yet, she regularly engages with fans and followers who openly criticize Clark, almost as if she's stoking the flames of this feud for attention. The problem lies in the fact that by doing so, Reese is fueling a narrative of division.
We understand in this world that the easiest thing for really stupid people like Angel Reese to do is to claim racism.
Rather than taking a step back and letting her performance on the court speak for itself, she's become a polarizing figure, constantly feeding into the hate that others have toward Clark. Dakich also highlighted how Reese's behavior reflects a wider trend in sports, where athletes are quick to play the victim when things don't go their way.
When it's not going well for you, claim racism. When it's going well for you, claim victim/racism. We get it. We understand. And frankly, I just laugh at it.
Instead of acknowledging Clark's success and their mutual talents, Reese seems to lean into the idea that the world is against her, painting herself as the victim of a racially charged rivalry.
No one has sympathy for the villain. You painted the bullseye on your back. Why are you surprised when people shoot at you?
But as Dakich points out, the reality is that Caitlin Clark has a massive following, not because of who she is or the color of her skin, but because of her undeniable talent on the court.
Caitlin Clark is becoming the best player in the entire WNBA, not because she's white, because she's that good. She's having Larry Bird impact. She's been the driving force of the hottest team in the entire league, despite her record turnovers. Why? Because she's that good. She's legit good. She's colorblind good. She's guilt-free good. She's apolitically good.
This leads us to an important point. Is Angel Reese truly being victimized, or is she creating this narrative to deflect attention from her own shortcomings?
Angel Reese's team sucks. Angel Reese can't make a basket. Even African Americans are starting to make videos of their friends missing layups, throwing the ball over the backboard from 2 feet.
As we dive deeper into this narrative, we see that Angel Reese's actions go beyond just a rivalry with Caitlin Clark. They touch on a larger issue within the sports world, how athletes use their platforms, sometimes irresponsibly, to manipulate public opinion.
I went to a Fever game, and I saw a bunch of little kids wearing 22 jerseys, and if this idiot thinks it's because I'm wearing this jersey because I don't like Angel Reese, I think if you ask most of them, they'd say, who's Angel Reese? There's no problem. I mean, it bothers African-American people to their core that a white girl and a white man, Jokic in the NBA, is playing basketball. There's no racial sovereignty. There's no racial exception that, hey, black people are supposed to be better than white people at basketball. That's crap.
Dan Dakich has been vocal about how Reese has weaponized this rivalry to bolster her own image. Instead of letting her performance on the court define her legacy, Reese has consistently chosen to amplify divisive commentary, particularly those that criticize Clark, under the guise of self-defense or team loyalty. It's clear from Dakich's narrative that Reese's conduct speaks to a broader trend of attention-seeking behavior, where athletes latch onto any opportunity to increase their visibility, regardless of the cost.
Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be the villain. So if you want to act grown, if you want to pose grown, if you want to talk grown, if you want to talk to grown folks grown, then you got to take the L like you grown. Because what frustrated me is when you want to be the villain, but you want to hope for sympathy like a hero. No villains in any sports get that kind of sympathy.
Reese could have taken a much different approach. She could have emphasized sportsmanship, acknowledging Clark's undeniable talent and the healthy competition between them. Instead, she has leaned into a narrative that paints her as a victim of racism, and Clark as the undeserving white girl stealing the spotlight. But does this narrative hold up under scrutiny? Dakich doesn't think so, and neither do many in the sports community, who see through this thin veil of manufactured controversy.
Dr. Martin Luther King said, judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And I got to tell you, the content of Caitlin Clark's character has never been questioned. Content of Angel Reese's, not even sure she has character.
Caitlin Clark, in contrast, has done little to engage with this drama. Her focus remains on her game, consistently proving herself on the court with jaw-dropping performances. Her historic run, breaking records and redefining what a rookie can achieve in the WNBA, has earned her the respect of both fans and players alike. Clark's humility and poise, despite the relentless attempts by others to drag her into unnecessary conflict, only strengthen her appeal.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star, and Angel Reese is to be completely believed that there's no hate. They both get along, they're cool with each other, they're high-end competitors, etc., etc.
In a world where social media often rewards the loudest voices and the most outrageous claims, Clark stands out by letting her game do the talking. And that's what truly irks someone like Angel Reese.
One more thing on Caitlin, which makes her super valuable, is she is leading the WNBA in points generated, which means points scored and or points assisted on. She is leading the league by a significant margin, and she is doing this as a rookie with a Fever team that is not comprised of a bunch of all-stars.
For Reese, the constant comparison to Clark may feel like a shadow she can't escape. But instead of rising to the challenge and letting her own skills define her, she has allowed jealousy and pettiness to cloud her judgment.
I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time.
It's like everything bad that happens to me is somehow connected to Caitlin Clark. That's stupid. It's dishonest.
This is evident in her choice to support hateful rhetoric aimed directly at Clark. A TikTok video filled with inflammatory comments about race and supposed fan bias was given credibility when Reese publicly supported it, a move that undercut her previous claims of holding no ill will toward Clark.
In white people's business this week, like first Taylor Swift, now Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark liked the Taylor Swift post, the Taylor Swift post, and baby, all of a sudden, all of her alleged fans are withdrawing support. Like they wanted her to be the face of racism so bad. Whole time she just wanted to play basketball, get her sponsorships, and go home. Like turns out she doesn't want to be the brand ambassador for hatred, and this really confirms that a lot of people were never Caitlin fans. You were just Angel Reese haters.
If Reese truly didn't harbor any hatred, why not denounce such negativity? Why continue to fuel a toxic narrative that pits one player against another, based not on skill, but on race and personal bias?
I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark.
The consequences of this behavior extend beyond just a personal rivalry. Reese's support for hateful narratives sends a dangerous message to her own fans, especially the younger generation who look up to her. By aligning herself with divisive rhetoric, she's teaching her followers that it's acceptable to tear others down in order to elevate oneself. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about how public figures choose to use their influence and the responsibility that comes with it.
And somehow she's connecting it to being a Caitlin Clark fan. I just don't see the connection.
Dan Dakich was spot on when he pointed out the hypocrisy in Reese's behavior. On one hand, she wants to be seen as a powerful, confident woman in sports, yet on the other, she plays the victim card when it suits her narrative. It's a strategy that has, unfortunately, worked for some, but in the long run, it does more harm than good.
But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team, it's about her. One makes it about her, the other makes it about us.
By continuously dragging Caitlin Clark into this drama, Reese risks alienating herself from a broader audience, one that values talent and sportsmanship over cheap theatrics. What's even more revealing is how little Reese's performance on the court is being discussed in comparison to Clark's. This speaks volumes about where their focus lies. Clark is breaking records, leading her team to victories, and creating history, while Reese is making headlines for all the wrong reasons, supporting hate, engaging in unnecessary social media battles, and perpetuating a narrative of division. The question remains, when will Angel Reese let her game speak louder than her words? And more importantly, will she ever?
One thing Caitlin Clark does maybe better than anybody in sports right now, makes it about others, makes it about team. Think about it. When's the last time you didn't see Caitlin Clark talking about a teammate? When's the last time you saw Caitlin Clark talking about herself or any of the accomplishments that she has had? Let me give you the answer to that. Never! Never! You never hear that. Now, that's why their team has gotten good. She could have been an egomaniac. Everybody in the league knows that she is the league. But every time you see something relative to Angel Reese, what's it about? It's about her. It's not about her team. It's about her. One makes it about her. The other makes it about us.
The contrast between these two athletes couldn't be more clear. Caitlin Clark, despite being at the center of this storm, remains focused on her game and her legacy. Angel Reese, on the other hand, seems more preoccupied with stoking the flames of controversy than improving her performance on the court. As Dakich noted, Reese has ridden the coattails of Clark's success, leveraging their rivalry for her own personal gain. But at what cost? By refusing to denounce the hatred thrown at Clark and instead feeding into it, Reese is doing more harm to her own reputation than she realizes. In the end, sports should be about competition, respect, and pushing the boundaries of excellence. But for Reese, it seems the game has taken a backseat to drama and controversy. How long can she keep this up before the spotlight fades and people begin to see through the facade? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Caitlin Clark will continue to shine, not because of the hatred thrown her way, but because of her undeniable talent and unwavering focus on the game. Angel Reese, on the other hand, has a choice to make, whether to rise above the noise and let her game speak for itself, or continue down a path of divisiveness that will only tarnish her legacy in the long run. As we wrap up, it's clear that this ongoing drama between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark goes far beyond simple competition on the court. While Caitlin Clark continues to break records and elevate her game, Angel Reese has allowed herself to be drawn into a web of controversy, supporting hateful rhetoric and feeding into a narrative of division. At the heart of it all is a stark contrast. Clark's focus on basketball and sportsmanship versus Reese's preoccupation with drama and personal grievances. Ultimately, Reese has a choice. She can either embrace her talent and let her game do the talking, or she can continue down a path that distracts from what really matters, her performance on the court. The question remains, how will Angel Reese be remembered? As a star athlete who rose above the noise, or as someone who fueled negativity and let the drama overshadow her legacy? In the end, actions speak louder than words, and right now, Caitlin Clark is letting her incredible skills on the court tell the story. Let's hope, for the sake of sportsmanship and the game itself, Angel Reese can do the same before it's too late.